Steve, we were just talking there, weren't we?
Hello and welcome on into this Wednesday's edition of Movie News Live here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here
live
on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. We are definitely live because we will F up at some point. I'm trying to curtail the swearing a little bit, John, so I'm just going to say effing and blinding at the moment, but who knows how that will go as the show rolls merrily forward. But
well, I mean, Stephen, I can't speak about profanity. Every second word comes out my mouth is a swear word, and I've been called out on it by family members. People says, I've listened to that, you swear too much, you're a disgrace.
Well, John,
there's no need
pretty
for it.
sure when you do set up these shows, you do say not suitable for kids, so that is what it is.
Do you remember when we first started doing live shows and we refused to swear, and when I did swear I actually had a jolt of panic? It was like, oh, I've swore. Is that alright?
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah. One of these days I'll go back and clip it all, but
it's not me.
And it'll probably be an hour long at least, but
it's probably about 5 minutes of me swearing, to be fair.
We are from Glasgow after all. It is a second language to us.
Whereas now it's about 2 hours of me swearing.
Hold it against us. But I am Stephen John McLaughlin, one of your co-hosts, and this is our other co-host,
John Christopher Peter Walsh.
Yes, that's the one. I couldn't remember your confirmation name there, John, but
after my grandfather.
Yeah.
He wasn't my great grandfather, he was just a great grandfather.
He was a great grandfather.
He was a great grandfather.
John, we're going to start off. It's a bit of disappointing news, actually.
Ooh, why did
as
that
you can
not work?
tell from our thumbnail and, of course, our headline, it's all about Thalapathy VJ, and it's a huge disappointment, apparently, for the fans regarding Beast. Now, don't panic. If you don't know this news, you probably will know the news, but it's nothing to do with the actual film's release or anything like that.
That's what I thought when you sent me it over.
Yeah, I was gasping as well, John. But this is coming in from India, Glitz, but the news is all over the place. It is big news because it's a big event thing it's affected, and it's all about an audio launch.
There's 2 big bits of news dropped in the last week. This and a stone holding a demon's soul in Japan cracking opened.
Oh, wow. I missed that one.
Yeah, so did I.
I slept on that one, but John...
What a shite, it was a fucking lava stone. It cracked.
Thalapathy VJ's Beast is undoubtedly one of the most awaited biggie, not only by fans, but also by the film industry that is reeling under the impact of the coronavirus pandemic in the past 2 years. The film, directed by Nelson and produced by Sun Pictures, is slated for release on April 13th this year.
Delete Kumar, he's calling him Nelson now.
Yeah, they're very formal.
Full Nelson.
Informal, yeah. Meanwhile, Phil Nelson, yeah. Meanwhile, there was a huge buzz on social media that the audio launch of Beast is being planned at the Nehru Stadium in Chennai and other places and could happen on March 24th, 25th. Photos have been shared of the set work in progress at the venue. Thalapathy VJ fans got excited as his speeches during the audio launches of films have gone viral and trend for a long time on social media, as we were checking out actually before we came on, John.
It's a shame I can't speak Tamil
because
I couldn't
no subtitles.
understand a word he was saying, and that was a real disappointment.
Yeah, John, it kind of works both ways because half the people that are watching us are probably doing the same thing. Where's the subtitles? But
apparently we'll pick up a load of women in the US, so I have to move there.
Reliable sources suggest that Sun Pictures, the producer of Beast, has decided to skip the audio launch as the gathering of huge crowds could cause problems, including the virus spread. The team also are considering the release of the trailer in the UEA on the last day of the Dubai Expo 2022, which falls on March 31st. However, the logistic issues may not make it feasible, and we have to wait and see if at least this one happens. Meanwhile, there is also talk that the second single from Beast is likely to be released soon to pacify the disappointed fans who were waiting long for the audio launch. The film has VJ and Pooja Hedge as the lead pair, while Anirudh scores the music. Yes, John. What were you going to say there? Sorry.
Have we had a trailer yet? We haven't.
We've not had. I mean, we had
big news if we can sneak that trailer.
We had the poster, didn't we?
We had the motion poster. Yeah. We had just
there was 2 posters, wasn't
there? Yeah, there was a poster came out, and then obviously, just news coming out about the mass video being shot by Thalapathy and Pooja Hedge. And then, of course, Anirudh Ravichandran gives us that little teaser, and then obviously. Arabic, I can never say Arabic. Kutu song comes out. Yeah. So that's been just about what we've got for this movie.
I mean, it's sometimes more than
Arabic.
most
Arabic.
Western films releases. Apart from, if you don't count TV spots, I hate TV spots, John, when Western films do that. They sort of slice up the existing trailer and maybe add a slightly bit of change of dialogue or something like that. There's not much difference.
Yeah, there's like a tiny little half second of
terrible.
extra footage.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I've always appreciated the way that Indian cinema promote their films in terms of, as you said, John, motion posters, the audio trailer, like a song, a song's release, that's connected to the film.
And
maybe
the way
not even in the film.
And the way they'll animate some of the stuff going on in the actual video, they'll
Yeah.
of course not have access to stuff going on in the actual final cut of the movie, so they'll utilise behind the scenes shots of dances. They'll do some nifty little popping, what would you call it? Animations.
Yeah.
There's a name for it. I can't recall. I should know. I do it all the time in After Effects. But yeah, I can't. Motion graphics. They'll utilise things like that, and they'll give you just a beautiful little graphic package to sell this song. And of course, the first time we became aware of that was with Thalapathy's last hit movie, Master.
Yeah.
Where we had Kutu Story. And of course, we got that amazing little lyric video where it did have some little tarted up live action things going on, but in the main it was lovely little motion graphics featuring the lyrics, featuring cutouts of the main players.
Yeah.
Obviously Thalapathy, his JD character being the main man in that movie, he was prominent. It was his song. He was preaching to these young kids in this juvenile place. So I love the way, I'm with you, Stephen, I love the way they promote it. And no more so than with these audio launches. I just discovered these
Same here.
tonight.
Yeah.
I went on, I thought, well, they're speaking about this, it's been delayed, or skipped I should say, completely. It seems to have pierced the heart in a whole region of Thalapathy fans, and Lord knows there's thousands of them worldwide as well.
Yeah.
So I searched up on YouTube, and there's a few, Sarkar, Biggle, Mercel, Master, quite a few of these audio launches. Stephen, packed out arena.
Yeah.
I looked at it, one of your bigger theatres in Glasgow is the Royal Theatre.
Concert Hall, yeah.
Concert Hall, yeah. Don't know why I blanked on that. King's Theatre, Royal Concert Hall. That's about, 10,000?
Yeah.
This looks double the size of that.
Oh, yeah,
maybe 20, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely packed to the rafters. And they are screaming their heads off. They are completely invested in what's going on in front of them on this stage. And it's a real cast setup. It's a whole production sort of reunion. They're all sitting there. They have their big comfy seats. They're getting up on stage. They're maybe reminiscing about their experiences on the set. Giving really stirring speeches.
John,
the director, the fucking composer, everyone's involved in this. And then Thalapathy's getting up and he is just, Steve, we've seen it with this guy.
Yeah.
He has a way with words.
John, I can only compare these audio launches similar to segments of conventions.
That's exactly what it's like.
Whether it be like Star Wars or whatever, where you are there to promote a certain film or animated series or whatever,
it's like a whole age.
And you bring out the sofas for the cast to come on and sit and chat about it. But the energy that we've seen from the clips that we've seen, John, and as you said, we weren't aware of it. You can feel the sort of the electric vibe in the room, and I said those tickets for those events must be hot.
Oh yeah.
To get in to see the stars, not just the stars, but obviously the production crew as well, the director, the composer. We've seen it, John. It looks fantastic. I would love to attend one of these if I'm being honest.
Well, what's the guy with the crazy haircut that's always appearing in Thalapathy movies? Babu. Babu.
Oh,
trying to find.
I can't remember his name.
God, I'm going to search him. I'll get him.
We've actually seen him quite a lot of times in different films, not just Thalapathy.
Yogi Babu.
Yogi Babu. Yeah.
There was one of the ones, it may have been Biggle, where he done a little bit on Yogi Babu. He got him to stand up and they were all cheering him.
Yeah.
Stephen, he's singing and dancing. Thalapathy. He starts breaking into spontaneous sing-song. It's just, you nailed it. It's almost like a convention. It's like a whole H where you get all the main players up on the stage, but in this case they're sitting in amongst the crowd. So that almost makes it like the Oscars, but for a standalone singular movie.
Yeah.
You've got the stars mixing, you've got the glitz, the glam, regular Joes behind them, absolutely avid fans of all of these people. It's a real coming together, a celebration of the movie and its conclusion and its eventual release into the actual
John,
mainstream.
it's what I would imagine like if a Western premiere. I don't think the stars are just there on the red carpet and then go in and watch the film. There must be things before it. There must be presentations and speeches and meet and greets and stuff like that as well, because they're in there for about 5 hours or something like that. You know, it's not just.
I'd love to see this coming over to here.
Yeah,
I'd love to see. I don't know why it's called an audio launch. That's maybe just the way they what they call it. Maybe there's a slight loss in translation.
A lot of talking, I suppose.
It's more like I don't know what you'd even call it. It's not a conference. It's almost like a comedic roast, but there's no roasting.
It's an event,
It's an event, It's a celebration. It's like a convention for the movie. It's totally unique. And I have seen a lot of clips of it. We watched the sort of compilations of Thalapathy's career. A lot of the stuff you're seeing is stirring speeches from these events where he gets up and he gets very emotional.
Yeah.
About his experience, the blood, sweat and tears that have came from the cast and the crew around about him. Just him and the journey he's gone on. I just think it's so interesting, and it's such a shame that they're skipping it this year. Because of course we did watch the Master one. It was toned down. It wasn't as big as Biggle or Mercel or Sarkar.
Yeah.
But there was still a good couple of hundred people in there.
That may have been down to the pandemic though, John.
But that was during the pandemic, Master.
It was February 2021, wasn't it? So
yeah,
I don't know how they managed it. I don't honestly know how they managed it. But it didn't look as packed. No. But it was still a large crowd. But you can understand, John, the disappointment, because it looks like something that everyone would want to go to. You know, everyone wants to see. I don't know if they broadcast it over on Indian television or whatever.
I think they
live.
would, because it seems to be quite a big event. It seems to be very slick. You've got presenters there, almost like fucking draws for the Champions League and stuff like that. They've got people coming in, posing questions, giving the mic over. They can give a speech. They can do what they want. It's a real celebration. It seems to me like it could be a 2-3 hour event.
Yeah.
Where everyone gets a chance to say their bit and just speak about how they were and how they enjoyed the process of making the movie, how their excitement is for the movie, and really just thanking the fans for their continued
that's what
support,
it's all about,
if you like. So I can imagine it is something that would be broadcast on the TV in India, absolutely, and maybe even in other countries.
John, it also says we're going to get a second song as well, which is great. That's what we want.
Absolutely, Steve. It'll give us a chance to see Anirudh and what he's doing with this score, because of course one of the big things for Master that drew us into Master was Vafi Cumming and then Cutie Story. Vafi Cumming, probably the primary one, very catchy. I think so, you just capture the vibe of the movie right away. JD, he's on the couch, he's sleeping, he gets up, he's half drunk, he's hung over, and he starts dancing, but he's kind of like falling over. You get a sense of what this character is, you get a sense of the vibe in the movie, just through the music, through Anirudh's wizard touch. So I'm absolutely game for listening to another movie, hearing what he's producing. I think the guy's a tremendous composer. I said it before, guy's a year younger than me. What he's doing is just sublime.
John, it's the 13th of April, it said.
Yeah.
The film's release, less than a month away. I can't believe that we've not had a trailer out yet.
It's very late. It's very, very late. Is it definitely coming out 13th of April?
Well, according to that.
Because if they're scared about having an audio launch and fans getting together, surely they're not wanting to be going to a theatre. I wouldn't think Omicron's that big an issue for India now.
Yeah.
I think the real issue for India was Delta. When it hit, not long after it came here, I know there was real huge scores of people passing away, sadly, and we've seen it also, the pyres, they were struggling to keep up. It was horrific to watch. Something that's been replicated across the world, of course, with this pandemic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought Omicron would be doing much there.
No.
Because it's not doing much here. There's people in hospital. But
I don't know if it's down to maybe the time factor, the organisation, that kind of thing. Maybe there's just not time now. I don't know. I honestly don't know, John.
Maybe it's like the football over here. They want to cancel things or skip things that are unnecessary and put strain on services.
Exactly.
That are otherwise preoccupied. I don't know.
Who knows? But listen,
it's a shame. It's a shame. I'd love to have seen it.
Yeah, definitely. You know,
for Nelson Dilip Kumar to get his chance to sit alongside Thalapathy and just celebrate the movie.
Yeah.
This guy, he's one of his first movies. He's been gave a break with Thalapathy. So it's a shame that he's not going to get to experience
it. Really is. But
I'm sure he'll work with him again.
Definitely. But we're going to move on, John, to our next topic. It's Kevin Feige. We were talking about Doctor Strange the other day and talking about Sam Raimi, who wants to eventually do a Batman film, and we kind of touched on the subject of Scott Derrickson and how we didn't think it was down to his genre within a genre, his horror sort of push on Doctor Strange 2, as it was called at that point. But this kind of confirms it wasn't anyway. It was kind of, it's not anything that, anyone that's been following the news and Scott Derrickson's exit from the MCU as well, in terms of, anything shocking happening or anything like that. It seems quite clean cut, they're sort of parting of ways. And I think once I read this as well, John, I kind of take from it they're leaving the door open for Scott Derrickson to return, which is great news. It's fantastic because Doctor Strange, the first movie is still one of my favourite MCU films. It's still got one of the best moments in it as well, the whole loop thing. That I thought was amazing, very funny and well done.
Just the development of the character, Stephen.
Yeah, it was a great origins film.
I mean, he's such an interesting character. He's left an indelible touch in the comics. A very, very powerful character who's been slowly but surely watered down to what we see today. So to see that guy making his silver screen bow, and just the way they took him from this hubristic, self-absorbed, arrogant man. Of course, he was a brilliant man, neurosurgeon, but to take him from that and then put him on that journey, really humble him. And then we see that continuation in the big ensemble movies, and now we're finally getting to step into a second movie with this character. I loved that first movie. I maintain it's one of the best.
And also, John,
intro movies, if you like.
The MCU rarely break away from their formula of upcoming directors. They've done it occasionally with the likes of Kenneth Branagh, who did the first Thor movie. And once again, we're doing it with Sam Raimi. That kind of suggests to me that the Multiverse of Madness is... Well, I think it doesn't suggest it at all, because we've seen the trailer. We know this is a massive film. The cast that the director's going to have to deal with. We're talking
Benedict saying, I called it yesterday, Benedict saying that it could, if the ambition plays out, could be
bigger.
It could be bigger or equal No Way Home, but she's doing nearly $2 billion. Or something stupid at the box office. So it's it's a big movie.
Before I read this report, John, that's I think it's actually coming from via Slash Films, but I'm reading it from Screen Rant's website. I noticed that John Campea was talking about a deleted scene from No Way Home as his sort of main headline, in terms of the deleted scene suggests that there could be a return for Garfield and Maguire at some point, which is music to my ears. I want to see more of these guys.
Stephen, I can't believe those numbers. 1.877 billion.
What's this for?
No Way Home.
That's incredible, isn't it?
At the box office, man. Nearly $2 billion during a pandemic. It's fucking insane.
I don't think enough people are talking about that.
It's
strangely,
nuts. It's nuts. I cannot believe those numbers.
I know it's done its cinema run over here, but I'm pretty sure there's theatres throughout the world that are still playing that movie. I know that the digital release is coming up. I think it's a month early or a week early, I can't remember, before the actual hard copy release. But
I can't wait to get back in and watch that movie, man.
That's fantastic, John. I know there's so many things.
One of the greats, only seen it once in the theatre.
I know. I think it's just the time it came out, wasn't it? It was Christmas. It was a busy period. Jeez, we weren't even doing live shows at that point, John. You were unwell as well for a period as well over the Christmas period, so it was just bad timing really more than anything. But it was certainly a film that I wish I did go back. I was actually swaying whether or not to go and see it in 3D at that point as well. I think it would have been an amazing film to see in 3D.
No, I want to try the 4D.
The 4D, yeah.
Cineworld.
Cineworld, yeah, it's up the top floor. I've heard it's good.
Is it good?
I've heard it's an experience and a half, John.
I need to go and try that.
Slash Film reports that Kevin Feige finally addressed the departure of Derrickson from the Multiverse of Madness. According to his interview from the upcoming May 2022 issue of Empire magazine, artistic differences severed Derrickson's ties with the highly anticipated film. Contrary to popular rumours, the disagreement wasn't over Derrickson's pitch to lean more creepy horror-esque tone in the Doctor Strange sequel. Feige insists that the development team at Marvel, fondly nicknamed the House of Ideas, loved the concept, also discrediting rumours that Derrickson wanted to make a no-holds-barred, weird, gnarly, scary movie, of which Marvel I'm going to cough here, of which Marvel disproved it was in fact other unspecified differences that apparently caused the creative clash, and Sam Raimi subsequently replaced Derrickson as director after Derrickson stepped down. This is what Feige had to say.
Below.
He said, "We love Scott, and I think Scott feels the same. Nobody believes it, but it was just a creative difference. There had been some thought that the horror idea was the creative difference with Scott and Marvel, and it was not, because we loved the idea. The intention was that Strange would guide us into a much creepier side of the world." And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact the trailer had elements of horror in it. It had elements of mystery, thriller, creepiness as well. In there as well, and I think just that confirmed it to me that it must have been something else. I know they don't get into too much details in what it was, John, other than a creative difference. It kind of says to me, and he is saying he loves him anyway, he's leaving the door open for his return. I love you, man. And I think he will return, John. Will it be in another Doctor Strange film? I don't think they do directors with other characters, do they?
Well, I mean, it's always the opportunity to come back, Stephen, and do something. I'm sure.
Doctor Strange 3.
I mean, this guy has definitely got a history with dabbling with horror. So, just think off the top of my head, could we be seeing horroristic sort of characters popping up in the next 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years? There's got to be potential for it, hasn't there? There's got to be. So we could definitely see him coming in and maybe a more grounded human story. But Stephen, I think the main reason that they've split ways, I think it is down to creative differences. And I think it's probably also down to the fact that Feige wanted a tried and tested director in to direct this movie. And you don't get much more tried, tested in comic book spheres anyway, and just in general as a film director than Sam Raimi. He's proven himself at the box office. He's proven that he's a very good director. He has proven that he can carry lots of egos, lots of big personalities, and he can fucking stick the landing. And it's required with this movie. This is a huge movie for the next 5 years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The ripple effects from this will still be felt in 4 or 5 years' time.
Yeah,
it's a huge defining moment. Multiverse, characters coming in, different variations in characters maybe sticking around. You could be seeing Tobey Maguire coming back and playing Spider-Man from this movie.
Yeah,
once again, his own separate sort of standalone experience. There's so much on the line here, and I think they just wanted to get a Sam Raimi in. It's no harm to Scott Derrickson.
Yeah,
I'm glad he stepped away because he's going to be doing a Bermuda Triangle movie potentially with Chris Evans.
He did that one with the phone, John.
Yeah, the horror one in the basement.
But it's that indie vibe, isn't it? I think that's where he thrives. That's where you get the best out of a director like him. Something like this, with it's going to be multi-layered.
It's an ensemble movie.
Something that takes not one Russo but two Russos to deal with, you know, in terms of Avengers. And I think it's the same here. I think, and the way that you said that Benedict Cumberbatch is talking about as well, about this film.
There's clearly ambition behind it,
Yeah, being a massive movie for Marvel, which I think it was going to be anyway. It was obviously, before we even knew the plot, we knew it was going to be highly anticipated after that first movie.
Is that Foxal, Stephen? I can't really read it. MD786 commented, super. Welcome in, man. Yeah, welcome in. We do appreciate you coming in. Yeah, Stephen, look, he's saying this that there's huge ambition behind this. So there's a lot at stake here, as I keep saying. Ultimately, I don't think there should be any hard feelings between Derrickson and the sort of House of Mouse, if you like, Kevin Feige. I don't think there's anything other than just, look, creative decision. We need to go and take this guy. He's available. Bring him in. He can handle all of these personalities. We've got fucking Elizabeth Olsen in there. We've got Benedict Cumberbatch in there. We know we're going to have Tom Hiddleston in there. We could potentially have Robert Downey Jr. coming back as a sort of borderline zombie version of Tony Stark. There's so much at stake here, Steve. There's so many options for big personalities. You require someone who has been around the block, who has the personality, who can bring them together and stick the landing. And I don't think Scott Derrickson was that man. So I was upset at the time when he left, because I really did enjoy the first movie. But ultimately, I think it's
I think the character Doctor Strange as well has came a long way since that first movie in terms of development, John. And you know, that's down to obviously the writing, you know, where he was this arrogant surgeon, you know, and he was brought back down to earth with a crashing thud. With that, it's one of the amazing sequences from an MCU film, John, that car crash. The way his hands just go right through the
and the way they track it within the actual car, it was stunning. It was, you know, really
but I think since then we've seen him obviously in the Avengers movies. Civil War? No, he wasn't in Civil War, wasn't it? That was out after. I think that was out before it, wasn't it? But,
no, he was definitely in Endgame, obviously, Infinity War.
Well, it would have been Infinity War was when he was introduced to Tony Stark, wasn't it? That was a class
great scenes,
yeah. I still prefer Infinity War to Endgame for some reason.
I don't know, it's a better movie.
It's very, it's a lot darker.
I know Endgame's the biggest grosser between in the MCU, not all time just now, because they gave that crown back to Avatar. But for me, Infinity War just is the better movie. It's so ballsy to have Thanos win, and that's the right decision. It's a fucking mad titan. This guy's a half god. He should be winning.
Do you know what's funny,
John? It was a ballsy move to do that.
You talk about Avatar and the way it was propelled back into sort of top spot. I always remember when Endgame had that final sort of push just to get it over the line, and James Cameron was all dignified and saying, and I thought, you're only saying that because you're going to do a fucking re-release. I know you are,
and not just that,
bastards,
because he knows he's going to be working with Disney. and he has to remain amicable, or he ain't getting his fucking Avatar sequel, so you had to remain dignified. We will absolutely be reacting to that second single, incidentally. That will be happening, man. We love Anirudh Ravichandran, we love Thalapathy on this channel, so that will be happening. Can't wait to hear it.
That's this Saturday.
Yeah, it's only that's perfect.
So
have a couple of drinks, man. I'll be off. Because I'm asking for Saturday off, and I will fucking
I'll be out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so it'll be out as soon as it fucking drops. He'll be on it, man. I'll
Before
be half
the big
cut.
ones shoot us out the game, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I just love. We were speaking about it at the top of the show, man. Ravi Chandra's a fucking incredible composer, and I really enjoyed. Even though I can't say it, Arabic Kutu. I enjoyed that. Also, the music from Master was sublime. Really, the soul of that movie. You start with that intro, he's lying in the bus, and it starts coming to life. He's listening to the music and he's chasing. It's just that.
John, that was our introduction to Thalapathy.
It was. It was. Mental to think that was just a year ago. And
it feels like we've known him for years.
It does, because we've watched
thanks to Ruth.
Listen, we can't thank Ruth enough for guiding us along that journey, man, with Thalapathy.
And Ruth will be back. She will be back to cover these big films.
Absolutely, man, we have to.
Not asked her yet, but I'm pretty sure.
She might tell us to fuck off.
It's just
coming back.
We've not really done many reviews this year, actually.
We've not.
About it, John, we've done one.
We've not done many shows, period. I mean, we only started getting back doing live shows beginning of this month there, February. End of the month, February.
A few health things, John, and obviously work-related things.
I mean, I had an overactive thyroid. I had it last year when I was doing live shows, but I was getting absolutely destroyed. I was sweating buckets. It just wasn't...
It wasn't cricket.
And then obviously work at that time of the year is fucking chaos. I was nearly having a nervous breakdown middle of December. But I got my shit together for Christmas and I still enjoyed it.
The watch-alongs have been kind of carrying us forward as well. But
it's an enormous amount of work in those watch-alongs.
But when we're filming them, they're an easy thing to just obviously sit back and watch and react to and enjoy. But John's obviously got the sort of the short straw.
I've got to do it tonight. Those are dead. Episode 4 coming.
That's right.
Tomorrow. I've not edited a single fucking thing.
We've really committed ourselves with this one, but we're nearly halfway through. Actually, man, I don't want to end.
No, it's a great. Listen, but I kind of do because I want to get into family, man, as well. So we've got lots to do.
Yeah, we'll get there, but that's all coming. That's all coming soon, but
with this, Stephen, I think Derrickson, it was a correct decision for everyone, realistically, because Derrickson, I don't think was the right man to take this movie forward. It's all right introducing the character of Strange. It's a smaller movie. It's got some big Titanic moments. The looping scene, as you says, with the man, but I can't always forget his fucking name, Dormammu or something. Dormammu. I searched it up recently and I just fucking 20 minutes ago.
John, I seen the film before you, and see when I seen that sequence, I went, John, I fucking love this scene.
I did, because it's me. That's the type of guy I am. I don't give in. I always have to have the last word. And I would just battle it out for eternity as well with this big fucking creature. Just, you're not getting the better of me, I will grind you down. And nothing to me signified where this character had came from, but also that what remained of him in the start of that movie. He changed a lot, but there was always that part of him, that hubris. I'm better. You ain't going to fucking beat me. And that remained, and it's still there, Stephen, to an extent. That's why I found it so interesting reading the comments of a producer, I think it was, or the director, Raimi. I don't think it was Raimi, I think it was a producer, about this new character, this kid, almost teaching Strange. She's able to, or he's able to, I think it's a she, easily sort of, I don't know what you'd even, what was it, transverse? I don't think that's the word. They can navigate their way through the multiverse very easily. So he's going to bump into this character in front of the Illuminati, and she's going to teach him. So he's still got a journey to go on. And I think that's so fascinating, because that's something that was always a standout, and one of the most enjoyable aspects of Captain America, that trilogy, was he went off and done his big climatic Titanic battles, fucking universe-saving things with Ultron and Endgame, but then he'd come back. Obviously Endgame he didn't come back. Well, he did. He handed the shield off, but he'd always have this more grounded story that evolved the character on a personal level within his trilogy. And we're doing the same with Strange here. And even with Hulk, Stephen, over multiple movies, we had a kind of story. And he evolved.
It's the best way to handle the character, to be honest with you, John. I really enjoyed Incredible Hulk, the standalone film. But I think the way they've handled them, I know a lot of people have a bugbear about the whole smart Hulk thing, but I don't mind it at all, you know. And I think the more we see that character, the better, even if it's just the way they've been interspersing it. But
when you take a step back and you see that it was all Hulk in Infinity War, he was all Banner in Endgame, Oh no, was he was all Hulk in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
All Banner and sort of Endgame, because he kind of sat out. Did he sit out?
And then we
Infinity
got
War?
the combination.
And then we get the combination. It kind of makes sense when you take a step back and you realise what they're doing. Universal have the rights; they can't do a movie.
It's a character, John, that is, as much as I loved growing up. It's a character you can't do too much with. Too powerful, in that sense. But
and what's She-Hulk?
Well, the thing is, but the thing is as well, I always maintain that about Captain Marvel as well. And it's going to be very interesting. We got the end credit scene in Shang-Chi, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
Well,
I don't think that character can be a cameo. I think characters
Marvel.
Yeah.
There's talk of her appearing in Thor: Love and Thunder, Stephen. I can't wait to see the fucking press conferences.
or
press junkets.
John, I think they're deliberate, but
they fucking are. Listen, it's a load of shite, this, with Brie Larson.
She's got a good sense of humour.
She is playing those haters like a fiddle.
Man babies, I think you were going to say, John.
She's playing them like a fiddle, man. There's no way that she's going in and they're rubbing them all up. There's no chance. They know they're aware of it.
You saw it with Jeremy Renner, John. I was like, there's no way somebody could dislike another actor and make it that public like the way he did without it being a performance. But it was good. It was good entertainment. But John, the other thing about Doctor Strange is as well, just before we do move on,
I'm going to bring something up as well before we do move on. I'm going to ask you two things. Well, first of all, the release. It's getting released a day earlier here.
I think what I'm looking forward to the most is seeing this other side of his commitment to obviously the mystery of his powers. Something that I know that the One and Wong to an extent have kind of touched on, but we've not really went in too deep with the rules and that kind of thing. So I think what we're getting from the trailer is that he's going to have to answer to the hierarchy, and obviously we'll see how that pans out, but I'm looking forward to it.
And Steve, it comes out today, early. What's your thoughts on that? Are you
I
happy?
think it's fantastic. It's Spider-Man all over again, John.
Yeah.
Are we going to do an out of theatre?
Yeah, we might do. But I don't look as good in camera phones.
Yeah, I've got the selfie stick, so
does strange things for me. That makes me look a bit Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame meets Igor.
Well, we're going to do it last time, but we ended up in a crash. So
we were in a crash.
That probably would have ironically got more views.
It's nothing to do with me though. I have to say, I'm a fucking great driver. Stephen, this as well. I'm going to fling you under the bus by putting you front and centre.
Yeah, I'll look this way, so it looks like I'm looking at.
As you can see, I'm going to ask you this question, just relating into this movie. I think it was Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
just turned 33 incidentally last month. I feel for you, Elizabeth, but you're looking better than me. As you fucking should. Hollywood actor.
She's a good looking lady.
She's not bad. Better looking than her sisters. I actually used to, I grew up, man, watching her sisters.
Yeah,
I
used
the
sisters.
I used to have a little thing for them growing up.
Is she the younger one?
She's the older one.
Is she the older one?
Bizarrely.
Okay.
Is she? I think she's the younger.
Okay.
So she's doing well to be better looking than them, but they've went a bit weird. But look, I digress. That's the second joint show this week that I've been speaking and critiquing ladies' looks, and it's fucking completely unacceptable. But I digress. That is an aside. Yeah, I mean, I was saying Natalie Portman as a 17-year-old looked better than Natalie Portman as a 40-year-old. Fuck me. Is that not obvious, Sean? You gimp. But anyway, I digress. She's been out and she said this. I don't know who's more powerful than Wanda. She's motivating. That's Richie Palmer. I think she was speaking about it as well.
Yeah.
Meeting the Wanda Maximoff at the end of Endgame would have been a lot for Strange, who comes out on top as the most powerful being in the universe. Maybe we find out at the end of the movie. Stephen, what do you make of that? The fact that we're just that throwaway remark, maybe we'll find out at the end of the movie. First of all, I'm going to ask you, who do you think is the strongest out of Stephen Strange, Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange? And do you think he's alluding to... Do you think he's let the cat out of the bag that we could be seeing Scarlet Witch turn villain?
Yeah, I
and
think
potentially go up against
John,
Strange, because we've seen the Rogue Strange, the variant.
John, we also saw Wanda, two Wandas facing each other. Obviously, one in the red costume.
That's a good.
So I think that's the sort of clue. But in terms of who's more powerful at this stage, I would say probably Wanda Maximoff. I think just because we've seen more of her and what she's capable, we've not really seen a lot of Doctor Strange and what he is. His full potential is, John. Now, if you follow the comic books, you'll know his full potential. But basing it on the MCU films, he's only had one film, and he's been interspersed throughout Avengers films. And in a Spider-Man film, which he was just a bit part, let's be honest, he was sort of MacGuffin of the movie.
But Scooby-Doo this shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was just there to sort of set up the situation for the multiverse for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to come back in, and Alfred Molina and that. But
he was able to capture them very easily, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They were powerful villains.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there you go.
But I think at this stage it is Wanda. But you saw that, John. You saw that in Endgame. I was like, she's fucking taking him on. Yes.
She nearly killed him, man.
And then he rained fire. He didn't give a shit about his own people at that point. That's when I knew it was all about him.
I knew you were all about Infinity Stones.
She was almost there
terrible.
Until he obviously did that thing. But I was so impressed with the character. I was like, wow, this is incredible. I knew she was. I knew I was in for a treat, John, when we saw her. I think it was Age of Ultron was her introduction. I thought, what an interesting character. And I think we'll see more of that in this film as well. But I think there's going to be a battle between both of them as well. I don't know if it will be good Wanda versus good Strange, or if it will be the two evil.
Well, it would make sense for the evil variants to be fighting the good guys. They're kind of fighting the same team, but we get to answer that question indirectly.
But will they fight each other? Will they fight?
I think, Steve,
each other?
if I'm not misremembering the actual trailer, I'm sure Strange goes and speaks to Wanda and asks her questions about the multiverse, what's her thoughts on what's going on. So he seems to be conversing with her. I think they're probably going to be in the same team. I actually forgot there was an evil variant of Wanda, Scarlet Witch. So that's interesting. I think we will get the question answered, at least cinematically. Who's the stronger? I think you're right. I actually think it is Wanda. I think she's just... I'm trying to think of the best...
I think it's Scarlet Witch, John, I think.
Well, Scarlet Witch. I'm trying to think what the best example would be, man. She's unchained.
Yep.
She's not really getting checks on her magic.
Yep.
Obviously, Strange has lost the stone as well. He's not actually got the time stone, if that's what he had. I think it was.
Yep.
So he's basically working off what he's got at hand. He's greatly weakened. Scarlet Witch has just got this power. It's completely unchecked. It's raw.
Yeah.
You've seen Agatha Harkness. She was terrified by it. You don't realise what you've done. So I think she's actually it's almost like fucking... What's she called? Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
In X-Men.
Yeah.
It's just unrestrained power, so it's hard to really come out against it.
Power.
That's what it's like, Stephen. So I think Wanda or Scarlet Witch is going to be the strongest.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think Doctor Strange will prevail because it's his fucking movie.
Well, I hope so, because I want to see Doctor Strange 3. I want to see the character carrying on into Avengers film.
It's like the whole who's stronger, Thor or Captain Marvel.
Feige has said that he sees Strange as the sort of heir to the throne, isn't he, for Tony Stark's character. So
I see Peter Parker personally, but hey,
well, eventually I think, John, if they're playing the long game, we probably will see that. But
he's looking good, by the way.
Who's that?
Benedict.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Tom.
No, he's looking good, Benedict, man. I seen photos of him at the BAFTAs. Bastard's kept his hair. Not that long ago I had a similar haircut to Benedict. I had it short and I had the same kind of hairline. Now I'm like this, and Benedict has still got that hair. I'm like, you bastard. He does look good. He looked dapper as hell.
Oh, well, he's privileged, John. So.
Listen, Tom's obviously, he's got the sort of, what would you call it, the fountain of youth on his side. He's got a full head of hair, he's rocking the glasses, got a very interesting style that he rocks readily.
Yep.
He's got the lovely lady in Zendaya.
I think he's been hanging about with Robert Downey Jr. too often. He's dressed six.
Yeah, but he's cool as fuck, man. He's somebody that's a bit dodgy, but most of the time he looks pretty dapper. This guy's winning at life just now, Tom.
John, another dapper guy.
I can't begrudge him it.
Another dapper guy, Ewan McGregor, we're going to talk about next. Kind of try to play in unlimited power into this next bit, but we kind of
I'll bring up a photograph of Ewan.
Yeah.
And I'll show you what Ewan's all about,
He's doing an advert just now, isn't he?
Yes.
And it doesn't age, that guy. Maybe a couple of crow's feet under the eyes, but apart from that, he's looking good, John. But
he's in his 50s.
Yeah, exactly. Star Wars didn't feel right for Ewan McGregor during the Phantom Menace casting. Obi-Wan Kenobi star Ewan McGregor felt like he was wrong fit when he first won the role back in 1999's Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And there's a little quote in here I'm just going to home in on. Just there it is, John. While McGregor gladly returned to the role, he told Entertainment Weekly that he was apprehensive about joining a massive franchise portraying an already established character. The actor admits that he'd second-guessed himself during the casting process. Even as he vied for the role, his scepticism was rooted in his place in Hollywood at the point as a fixture of gritty independent dramas. He said, "This Star Wars didn't feel right to me. Initially I was quite sceptical about doing it. I just thought, well, I'm this independent urban grungy actor over here. I'm not this kind of guy." John, it's funny, back in 1998 or 1999, probably 98, if when the casting was announced, I had to say similar thoughts. I went, the guy from Shallow Grave and Trainspotting is going to be playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're having a laugh. And so I totally get what he's saying here. I totally get that he's probably thinking, that's not my kind of thing. That's not my kind of
film. Not my jive.
But I also thought that about Jake Gyllenhaal as well when he did likes of Donnie Darko, and then the next film that I saw him in was one of those big blockbuster disaster movies, 2012 or something. I don't know if it was that one. It was one of those ones, end of the world type things, and I thought, that's unusual. I didn't think he would do that.
Yep.
And McGregor's the same, John. I grew up with him being a Scottish actor. We knew about him probably before most of the world knew about him.
Yes.
And some of the independent stuff that he did. So when he was cast, I thought, the junkie from Trainspotting is going to be playing Alec Guinness. He's come on, what are you doing,
Come
George?
on.
And interestingly, John, if you ever watched the extras on the DVD release of The Phantom Menace, Rick McCallum, the producer from the prequels, and George Lucas, they capture them at, I think it's at the Lucasfilm Ranch, when Ewan actually makes the call into them to tell him he's going to do the role. Rick McCallum takes it, and they go, oh, dude. He kept calling him dude. Oh, you don't know how happy I need to tell George. He's going to be delighted with us. So you knew that they were wanting him from the get-go. They knew that he was perfect for the... Listen, the rest, as I say, is history.
And of course, he had a Fred Perry top on, didn't he? When he went in to get his hair and all that done.
Yeah, Alec Guinness didn't wear a wig. That's my Ewan McGregor, by the way.
I'm just, I mean, listen, I was shocked when I found out. Steve, I'm just bringing up an image, Ewan, while you're talking there.
Yeah.
Because nothing, you talk about fucking style. Look at this fucking guy, man. Look at this fucking guy.
Nice socks, yeah.
He's got the colours are not for me, I have to say. But he's got the turn-up jeans. Look at the fucking haircut.
Yep.
No one would have the balls to even attempt a style like that.
Do you know who that hairdo's like? It's like Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
That's exactly what his hair... I don't know if his hair's still like that, but obviously...
Gary has still got hair like that, yeah. I mean, it's an undercut. He took £1 for that haircut, by the way.
That's I wouldn't mind that.
It's a disconnected
I'd
undercut.
Take that now.
Again, man, there was a point not that far back where I had fucking a similar hairline to you, and I remember looking them up. I'm like, look, because I've always respected him tremendously. He's one of my favourite actors. And as I says, I kind of styled the beard to look like him, so I've always loved Obi-Wan. I always loved his interpretation as the character. So there was a point where I had hair like that, and I'm like, yes, man, but my hair's not receding.
We do slag his accent at times.
We do, yeah, we do. We slag his accent at times, period, because he's meant to be from Perth, and I don't know anyone from Perth that speaks like that. Yeah. But hey ho, his brother doesn't even speak like that. His brother was an ex-RAF pilot, by the way.
That's right, yeah.
Fucking what a family.
Yeah.
He goes
back his uncle,
His uncle, yes, his uncle.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's Wedge
and Tillis, yes. Antilles.
Antilles, yeah. Antlers.
But I was in denial, Stephen, about my hair.
John,
as you do know. But what a guy.
John, I know you were 10 at the time. I don't know if you were that way of thinking when the film's released and his announcement of being cast. But
I wouldn't have had a clue.
But could you put yourself in that position? Take your 33-year-old back to 1998, 99 and think, this guy's only done independent films.
Yeah,
but then again, you look at Star Wars, the original trilogy, and the sort of...
This guy from American...
You can't really say... You can't say it's a risk or anything like that, because at that point, Star Wars was just this goofy film that was getting made. The people on the actual cast weren't even taking it serious at that point, but there was no risk. But you could see why they would do that. They always... Daisy Ridley's a classic example. She'd only did, I think, one sort of short film before
they only did a couple.
Yeah.
Adam Driver was famous for a sort of... I think it was Girls, a TV show.
Yeah.
So... If I was to get back then, Stephen, I think in my current form, I think I'd be much as the same as what I am just now, when it's the likes of Robert Pattinson getting cast as Batman. I'd take a step back and think, logically, why are they doing it?
Yeah.
They've obviously checked his back catalogue of work. They've seen what he's given in these performances. They've seen something.
Yeah. Yep.
Ticks the boxes. And if it's much like Matt Reeves, as you suggested, they had him outlined for the character from the get-go, that means he must have had that thing that they were looking for. And ultimately they were right, Stephen, because although there is moments that are a bit goofy, for your new republic, or your new galactic empire, on the Sith stealing absolutes. There was some goofy moments. You were like a brother to me, Anakin.
I loved you.
But he's still one of the best performances in that whole trilogy. Fucking outstanding.
That dialogue though, John, more than anything.
Just a iconic character, as we said the other day, reacting to the actual trailer. So happy to see him coming back. I think I understand what you're saying though. If you get back to those days, there would have been people who had doubts, so I'm not surprised he had a bad feeling. He had doubts about doing this character, because there's a lot of commitment, a lot of weight of expectation that following in the footsteps of Alec Guinness. That's a big decision to make. I'm glad they did it though, because
another happy landing.
Another happy landing. That's another one. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this. Is that the start? I think, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he hated Anakin.
I think he's the only character that's actually said that line in 2 films. He said it in The Phantom Menace, and they said it in Revenge of the Sith. I don't think any other actor had that chance, did they?
No, they usually bite the bullet, don't they?
Yeah.
Did one of the pilots not say it at the start of Phantom Menace before it got blown up?
I don't know. I know that obviously
Ewan did,
yeah, but I can't remember.
Because Cole Meany was in it, wasn't he?
Was he? I don't know.
He was, yeah.
I
think he was a pilot.
Was he?
The New Republic ship.
I know he was a pilot in Die Hard 2.
He was. I'm going to search that up very
randomly. I know the guy. I can't remember his name. Was in the Phantom Menace. Who was a pilot. Played the chap from Life on Mars.
Yeah.
The English sounding guy. It was the guy that said. What was the line in the Phantom Menace again? He said, "That little droid saved us" or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember. But it was him.
I'm maybe talking shit. I'm maybe thinking about Star Trek again.
He was in Star Trek.
Yeah, there's no way they made the jump to Star Wars. I'm talking absolute nonsense.
He was a pilot though. He was a pilot.
He was a pilot. Yeah, just not in this. Was he a pilot in Die Hard?
Die Hard 2.
Oh, he was. British Airways. Yeah.
It was a fake British Airways. I can't remember what they're called.
I
think it was Windsor or something like that. Air
Windsor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, just glad they stuck the landing with Star Wars, because for me, it wouldn't have been the same without you, and I can't even imagine who else. It's like Han Solo, man. Who would have played Han Solo?
Well, that's it, and you just got to sort of think that sort of logical way. Go exactly, or Kurt Russell.
I mean, it was
Sylvester Stallone was another one.
I mean, it was like fucking Letterman asked Harrison Ford the question. I think it was someone was originally cast to play Indiana Jones. I can't remember who it was. Or
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. He asked him, "Do you think it would have been a different movie?" And he just looked at him and looked at the crowd. The crowd were fucking rolling about, laughing. Well, yeah, of course it would be, because I'm not fucking Tom Selleck. You're dafty. You're an esteemed late night talk show, and you're a host, and you're asking me that question. Yeah. Would it be a different movie? I'm not in the movie, bitch. I am that fucking character.
Yeah, I'm the movie.
Don't ask me that question again. That's the answer I says to him. See, you're going to have a beard in 20 years' time, and I'm going to rip it out retrospectively, bitch, if you ask me that question again. Fucking Indy. I am Indy, bitch. I know it's the dog.
Yeah.
I am the fucking click. Yeah, but look, man, yeah. Dangerous to start getting off in these tangents at the end of the show. I'll go to the end.
John, that's why I keep it to 3 topics, because we do like to chat.
An hour, man, over an hour, incredible. I know we waited to start. It could have been about 15 minutes before we kicked in.
I would say probably about that. Yeah, 10,
3 topics,
minutes,
45 minutes, pretty decent. Look, I like it. I like talking. I like the fact we go off piste.
Yeah,
I like using that term off piste. Incidentally,
wish more people would come into live chat.
Yes, I know.
Come on,
I just wish more people would come in and watch us. Period. Clearly not interesting enough for some people.
That's okay.
But that's absolutely fine. We'll keep doing our thing.
Horses for courses.
And if you don't like it, you know what you fucking do.
Yeah.
But what I digress, that's going to round it up, man. What's your thoughts on the 3 topics we've touched upon and all of the in-between that we have drifted off to? When I say we, I say me. Because realistically, I'm a bad influence on Steve, and I tend to take the topics off into directions that perhaps off piste. I just keep saying off piste. I've never skied in my life, but I love that term, piste. Off piste. But I digress, what's your thoughts on Thalapathy's Beast, the audio launch being skipped because of COVID fears? Is that something you're disappointed for? Is it a huge event in India? Maybe you can come in and share your experience with us in the comment section about that event, what it entails, because we don't speak Tamil, but we've seen the event kind of disconnected through language because we don't understand what's going on in terms of speech, but we've seen the event. It looks like a big event. What's your thoughts on it? You're disappointed? Excitement levels for the movie? Maybe you can share that down below if you get anything to say at all about that. Doctor Strange, a peaceful partner of the ways for Scott Derrickson, Kevin Feige, the House of Ideas, the House of Mouse. What's your thoughts on that? You can comment down below. Who the fuck's stronger? Scarlet Witch, Doctor Stephen Strange? Maybe share your thoughts on that. Finally, thoughts on Ewan McGregor having doubts initially, to quote Alan Partridge, over his role as Obi-Wan, whether he should have took it on or not. Are you glad he did let us, or are you maybe one of those rogue variants that I was speaking about earlier, who deserve to have their head binned down a toilet? Did you dislike Ewan McGregor's performance? You can get the fuck out of this show, out of this channel if you did. I'm not joking. We're all welcome here. Regardless of what you do, though, you can comment below about anything at all, incidentally. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. Hit the follow button over on Twitch to see us over there as well. Maybe hit the notification thing over there as well. I'm pretty sure there's something over there. I'm just going to keep saying over there and as well.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you do, once again, said that before too. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, me and Stephen are done. Bye-bye.
Another happy landing.
Yes. You were like a brother to me, Anakin. I loved you. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Hello there.